Hello friends, I'm back. I apologize for being so quiet on here, but I've kind of had a busy fall. We moved from Memphis, Tennessee to Bryson City, North Carolina. I'm a little overwhelmed right now. For those of you who know me, if you don't know me, hi, I'm Molly. Welcome to Good Golly Gal. If you are new here, I do a little bit of DIY, a little bit of crafting, a little bit of organization, sprinkle in a couple of recipes, and occasionally if we go on a trip, I like to share that. Now that we have moved to this new house, I thought I was being really, really smart in the move. I actually had the movers put everything down in the basement and in the garage because we have access from the outside to our basement. And so I thought, I don't want to overwhelm myself. I know how I am. Things will just live there in boxes, so I just need to have it downstairs. I'll slowly bring things back up when I'm ready to unpack them. Well, I can't find anything. I just found my box of socks. We moved here in October. It's January 10th. And I just, a couple of weeks ago, found my box of socks. So when we first moved here, I had to go buy socks, and we are in a very small town, so there aren't a lot of options for places that sell socks in town. But we do have this really great outdoor store called Bryson City Outdoors. So I went there and I bought socks, really, really expensive socks. And now I'm a sock snob. I don't want cheap I keep calling them snocks. I don't want cheap socks. I've been to the other side. I know what amazing expensive socks feel like. I don't want the cheap stuff anymore. I am now a snock sob. I keep saying a snock sob. What is wrong with me? I am now a sock snob. There we go. I am now a sock snob. I've been bringing some boxes up. I'm overwhelmed. I get very overwhelmed when things build up and I don't have time to make them perfect. And so I am going to be organizing spaces on here. And I do love to organize. That's actually one of my gifts. You would not think that looking at the state of my room right now, but I am very good at organizing. So I'm going to be going through my house and organizing different spaces. One thing, for those of you who are here because you watched my craft room video and you loved it, it's not here anymore. I had to leave it in Memphis. This just means I get to create a new space. Downside, I don't have a space inside to make a craft room. We do have a basement, but that's not just for me. We've set it up kind of like an apartment because all of our family lives out of town now. All of our friends live out of town now. And so people are coming to visit, and so we have to have a designated space for people who come to visit. And so I'm going to, until I have a permanent solution, I'm going to kind of try to neatly organize sections of that room so that I can still be crafting. But the goal for this spring is a she shed. I'm going to build a she shed. It's happening. There will be a she shed. So get ready for that one because that's going to be incredible. That's going to be a big day. Excited. All right, so first things first. This is the longest intro in the history of the world, and I apologize. It's not really an intro. This is what this video is about. No, this was supposed to be an intro. The kitchen in this house, which is another project that's being worked on, is terrible. It's awful. It's awful. It's so, so bad. But we have decided we could either gut it and have our house immediately under construction, which is something we did not want to do, or we could polish the turd. And I apologize if you don't like that word. I love that word. So we polished the turd. We're making the kitchen livable for now. So that's a whole other video. I'm going to be showing you how to polish your own turd. Oh, that sounded nasty that time. I'm going to show you how to, on a very, very, very tight budget, spruce your kitchen. Spruce sounds better than polishing a turd. Okay, I'm going to spruce the kitchen. But this video is about my pantry. So for those of you who have been watching my videos for a while, you probably have seen I have an IKEA pantry video that I will post up here. And that pantry was incredible. I loved that pantry so, so much. This house does not have a space for that, but this house does have a pantry. It has a closet that is a pantry. It is a fraction of the space that I had before. So, but again, I don't want to sound like a brat because I know a lot of people don't have pantries at all and they have to put their stuff in their cupboards. So, I just said cupboards. They have to put stuff in their cabinets. So, I promise I'm not being a brat. I'm coming from an amazing pantry that made me so happy and was so organized and just wonderful to a dark closet that's just not that big. So what we're going to do today is we're going to organize the crud out of that closet. It's bad. It's real bad. Okay, same day, different shirt. I went to the restroom and realized that I had like a giant spot on my shirt. So now I feel it's a little more appropriate. I'm in all black, like literally head to toe. I'm in mourning my old IKEA pantry. But I'm not going to be a brat. I know that I have a pantry and that's more than a lot of people have. And so I'm not going to be that person that's like, oh, poor me, I have a pantry. It's a smaller pantry, but it's a pantry. So I'm good. All right, you ready to see it? It's bad. I didn't prepare. I didn't, some people be like, oh, it's such a mess. And really they've cleaned it to make it that way. No, I have not touched this pantry just for y'all. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. And don't come at me talking about all my candy and how I'm not eating healthy foods and blah, 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 blah. Christmas was just here, okay? This is Santa's fault. This was not me, all right? Also, I just want y'all to see this down below my pantry. Look at those water bottles. That is Jack's doing. He needed them to make a robot army. So, you know what? You pick your battles. Now, when we first got into this house and I opened this up, first of all, I felt like it was Christmas Day because we had only seen this house once and I completely did not even know what this was. I think I thought it was like a coat closet. So when we got here, I was really excited because I thought I had no pantry. So I am grateful for this. It had wire shelves already in here and they're very, very stable. They're wire shelves, but they are not just screwed into the wall. They also have wood on either side, kind of holding them up. And so since my last pantry was not the best as far as support for my food, I decided I was going to go ahead and get some white shelves. My hubby cut them down for me, and then I just put them on the wire shelves and left them. I know a lot of people do the really cute things where they, go ahead and would take cut another piece and put it here so it looks like these are just wood shelves. I don't care. This doesn't bother me. If it ever does bother me, I'll do the project. But for now, it's a shelf. I don't care. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves and then the whole bottom floor. And I have a lot in here. And I don't even have all of our food in here because I don't have this organized. As I go to the grocery store, sometimes I just stick it in cabinets in there. It's not working for me. So I'm going to take everything out. We're going to assess the damage, see what I have, purge some of the candy that doesn't need to be in there, and figure out, things together. I'll have my garbage bag ready. I'll have a box ready to go. We have a great food pantry here. This isn't even all of my food, y'all. There's a box somewhere in the basement that did not make it up here of canned goods. But that's just going to stay there for now because I don't have the energy to dig through a million boxes to find a box of canned goods. So that's going to just live there for a couple weeks. Our goal, though, have the garage, because the basement's done. We did finish the basement. We turned it into a really cute little apartment for family and friends coming to visit, but our garage is full. But our goal is to finish the garage before the end of January. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I can tell you right now it's not going to happen. But my husband wants it to happen, but it's not going to happen. I think February is more realistic. We have friends coming at the end of January. I think February is more realistic. Oh, by the way, one of my New Year's resolutions this year is to show myself grace. So, don't worry about it, Molly, you're fine. See, look, I just showed myself grace. It was lovely. I did it. I actually did what I said I was going to do for the new year. That's a first. Don't believe the ding dongs were on the old New Year's resolution. That sounded dirty. I'm cutting that one out. Okay. All right. Pulling all this stuff out. I'm going to put everything on my dining room table. We'll figure it out. I'll put my little bins in here. We'll see what will fit. Oh, I did buy more. These Better Homes and Gardens little storage containers. I did buy more of these because I love them. I think they're a little bit different too. I think I got some different sizes, so I'm excited about that. So I will have more of these to use, and I've got a couple of other little storage things that I can't wait to share with y'all. All right, here we go. Do y'all know what we haven't talked about yet? The fact that I no longer have a baking cabinet. One of the first things when we moved here, or when we were looking at this house, I realized there would not be room for an IKEA pantry, and that there would not be room for my baking cabinet, which is very, very sad. But she went to a good home. My good friend Stacy has given her a good home and is loving her, and is actually kind of using her in her kitchen to hold some of her favorite things. So I know that she's in a good place. That means I have more stuff that I have to find a place for. So here is my dining room table. Holy cow. By the way, my husband was like, look, we can get all this and save so much money. Yeah. Where do you put that? Other than one of those like cereal dispensers that hotels have, like where are you supposed to store all that? Now let's find a place for all this stuff. Okay, it is all empty. Well, except for that rag that I put in there to clean it. All right, let's see what will fit. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. I've got 4 shelves in here and the bottom floor. So I'm going to divide up the categories so that it works for our family. The top shelf is going to have to be where all the snacks and chips and all the things that Jack would try to go for, I need to make sure that he can't get to them. So top shelf is going to be for snacks, candy, chips, that type of thing. Second shelf, we're going to have breakfast foods, breads, dinner fixins, and when I say that, I mean like macaroni and cheese, stuffing, rice-a-roni, rice kind of stuff. That goes there. Third shelf is going to have sauces, dressings, salad fixings, and pasta. Fourth shelf, because it's the sturdiest, it's the one that's solid wood. That one's going to have all canned goods and soup. And in the soup category, I also include things like oyster crackers and cornbread mix. So things that we use just with soup, that goes down there as well. And then on the floor, I'm going to put dried goods, like our dried beans, and then drinks, because we have a lot of drinks. I really like LaCroix, so there's a lot. And when we have guests come, you know, I will buy whatever drink they like, and then of course they never drink at all. So then I have like this crazy amount of beverages. So we're gonna find a solution for that. So in my IKEA video, I showed you guys my drawers. I loved my drawers. Those drawers were amazing. I don't have drawers in here. Could I put drawers in here? Sure I could. Am I going to? No, I'm not going to, because there are things like baskets. So now I have a chip basket, and I do still have my chip clip jar. It's somewhere packed, I don't know. So right now chip clips are living on the side of the basket, which also works as well. Keep up with them. All right, so I got some more of these containers. Should I be carrying them all like this? No. But I'm also one of those people that tries to take the least amount of trips from the car to the house with all of my grocery bags, because it's like an Olympic sport. I always wonder, like, how many could I possibly carry at one time? Saves you trips. Now I'm gonna get these in here without letting them drop. Okay. See, I did it. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. Other thing that I'm missing that I realized is I had one of these carousels, but it had dividers in it, which was incredible because then I could sort like peppermint candy and chocolate and, you know, popcorn. I made like a little snack thing. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. This is what happens when you move. Or at least this is what happens when I move. You guys may have your life better organized. I love organized spaces, and I love to organize spaces. I am just not very good at keeping my places organized. Now, one thing I have found, so with my craft room, I was able to keep my craft room nice and neat and organized because everything had its place. My pantry at our old house, everything had its place. That pantry was always neat. It was amazing because once you have a system, once you create a space for everything, not just clean it up, once everything has its space, it's so much easier to unload groceries because I know canned goods go here, pasta goes here. Like, it's just, you have a system and it works. That's what I've got to figure out here is how to create a system on a much smaller scale, which I can do it. I know I can do it. But I do. I love neat spaces. I mean, my mom said that when I was little, I would mess up. My room would be absolutely horrendous. It would be so messy. And then she would find me in her dining room, like where everything was nice and neat. And I would be playing in a corner because I loved finding little neat spaces. I love neat spaces. I really do. I have trouble getting there. I feel bad. I just realized I'm not even showing you guys the fun part. You know the fun part where they're doing the video and then they just... Those satisfying videos. Oh, it just feels so good. Now, normally I would tell you to make sure that you can see everything in here because if you can't see it, you're not going to eat it, then it's going to go bad. But in this case, I don't need to see these. I don't need to eat them. But I promise you, my children will remind me of them because they will ask for them. And so I will remember where they are, but I won't see them every time I open the pantry. So that's a little diet tip added in with my organization tip. Hide the things that you don't need to be eating. So I just filled up this entire container with this bag, and there's still this much left of it. This is ridiculous. This is what we're having for dinner tonight because I'm not holding on to this bag any longer. Okay, so I had to switch a couple things around because I found this and this needs a home. So I took the peanut butter crackers out and I decided I would make this the healthier snack little carousel. So I have like pecans in here, roasted pecans and cheese and crackers, that type of thing. I'll put popcorn in here. And then I really filled this junk basket back here. So now I have an empty container to put this giant bag of Cocoa Roos. You know, real good, healthy, nutritional cereal. It's funny, sometimes I'll come across food and I'll be like, oh, that must have been on sale. Because when in my life have I ever bought pastaroni? I mean, I'm not knocking you, pastaroni. You're just not normally my style. So since normally I like to turn things the other way and I would have left space on this shelf, but I don't have a lot of room. So in order for me to be able to see everything, I'm putting everything kind of by size. So I can see the tops of this and know that that's stuffing. I can see the rice-a-roni thing on this side, so I know that that's behind the mac and cheese. Again, the potatoes behind the rice. So like I can see things without, you know, without leaving just a big empty space. So just make sure you can see everything. If you can't see it, it's gonna get wasted. So one of the best ways to actually arrange all of your sauces and dressings is to get like a little carousel. And I've found these little flat ones and they work fine, but I'll show you my favorite is this that has just a little bit of a lip to it. I just feel like it keeps everything together and keeps things from flying off if you happen to spin a little too fast. So I really do like this one. I will link this for y'all, but I mean, along with everything else, I'm gonna link it all. You'll see it, but these are great. That way you don't have to have everything stacked and then you can't find it. This way you just spin it. You can see exactly what you have. All of that back stock I'm putting in the back because I don't need to get to this very often, and so it's not taking up valuable real estate. And being the true Memphis girl that I am, of course I have to have an entire Lazy Susan filled with barbecue sauces. Okay, so I finished this shelf and I've got all of my back stock of condiments. I've got pickles, olives, some bacon bits here. And then of course my barbecue wheel, very important. And then in the very back I've got all my salsas, and then you can see through there. We've got some back stock of blueberry preserves, apple butter, sorghum molasses, just some other little things that I don't get to all the time. And then of course my salad toppings wheel, because I do love a salad. And then right here I have my pastas and pasta sauce. I've got a marinara, which, by the way, this is my favorite. This is good stuff. Okay. So this is where it gets a little tough because canned goods are just, there's a lot of them. So these little containers are also really awesome because you just slide them in and then they kind of roll to the front. That is it for my canned goods. All right, and that leaves this little tiny section right here for soup, but I think that's enough actually. And any extra, like I have this huge box of ramen noodles. I'm gonna put that down below because there's no need for this to take up shelf space. Same thing with my chicken stock. So I have like the bulk thing of chicken stock. So that's gonna go down below as well, because it's things that I don't need to grab easily. So here are all of my soups and my cornbread. And then I actually did all of my rotel there and then some more soups. And see, I had this little extra tiny bit of space and it was perfect to fit all of my diced green chilies. And then I've got all of my canned goods. And they're actually, I'm using one of those acrylic little stair-stepped, little tiered shelves, which makes it so that I can see everything, which is really nice. So it's a little more crowded than what I like aesthetically, but this is not about aesthetics. This is about having a functional pantry. And this is functional. Now look how cool this rack is. I found this on Amazon. I will link it in the description, but it is made to where you can put all of your beverages, or you could even do canned goods if you wanted. But what I loved about it is that you can adjust it, so you can adjust the width. So if you have something like these little bottles, they can fit perfectly. You can put full-size water bottles on here. You can do cans. I mean, this thing is awesome. Y'all just missed the biggest meltdown.
And you're fired!
Did you hear that? My child just said I'm fired. Go to your room, please. Calm your body.
And don't play my warbles! I'm going away!
Okay. You will be missed. So here is the bottom section. And I've got, in that back corner, just a thing of dried beans. Right here, I've got some bulk chicken stock. That's the date it was purchased, not when it expires, so please do not panic. I use one of these little plastic bins right here to hold these waters. There's more water back there, and then that basket actually has ramen in it. And then if you go way back, you'll see there's some beverages that are back stock for filling this beauty right here, my 3-tiered beverage system. This thing is awesome. All right, here is my completed pantry. Everything has its place. It feels so good to have it all organized and done. Oh, I'm so happy. That's it, friends. I am done. I'm so happy. One tiny little corner of my house is finished. A whole lot more to go, but that's okay. We're gonna get to it. I'm curious though, if there are certain areas of your house that you need help organizing. Like, are there any places that you would like to see me organize in my own home? Because trust me, every single room in my house needs to be organized, aside from my pantry now. But everything else needs to be organized. Like, there's not a space in my house that is completed because it's a brand new house. So let me know if there are any rooms that you would love some tips on how to organize those better. And I'm just so happy to be back. I have missed y'all. I love interacting. Please comment below. I read through every single comment. Loved finding my people, and it has just been such a fun journey, and I'm happy to be back. Also, oh, don't forget, go follow me on Instagram at goodgollygal. Go find me on there. When I'm doing these projects, I'm gonna try this year, I'm gonna try to do stories so that you guys can kind of follow along and see what I'm working on. So be sure to go follow me over there. Hit the like button, be sure to subscribe. All those things really help me out a whole bunch. Friends, do not forget, have a little me time. It's so important. You deserve it. All right, I will see y'all next time. Bye.